Okay guys, like I was telling you, I was gonna do a phase grass build, mostly for mobbing, but I'm gonna show you some clips of it actually bossing too, because like we all know, the sickle has just become an incredible weapon thanks to the update. I'm speculating that they're doing all these updates because of Mayhem 2.0, and I'm not mad about them at all. Well, without any further ado, let's get into the video, guys. Okay, welcome back, Blue Crew. Like I was saying, this build is mostly for mobbing. I do have some boss kill clips in here just to show you that it is a little different and you actually can do both. But again, it's made for mobbing, and when you see just how easy it kills everything, I'm sure you'll appreciate it. I will also have the save file in my Discord if you're looking for that. I was told my last save file didn't work and I apologize for that. But I will have the save file in my Discord if you are looking for that. But do you see what I'm saying when I said it's mostly for mobbing? Without any problem, I'm just taking one shot and killing the whole groups with no problem. Granted, we all know the ties that bind is probably Amara's strongest ability. But with the sickle, it's even more crazy. When the new update drops, well, when the new DLC drops, would you guys be interested in seeing me do an actual playthrough with my Amara? I'll use one of my signature builds and I'll do a playthrough if you're interested in it. Leave it in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in watching, man. So I know this is going to be off topic, and I usually try to stay on the video topic, but I've never told you guys this, but I'm a super anime nerd, right? I just seen the new My Hero movie, and I want to give the MVP to Aoyama actually. I didn't know he had that much potential until this movie. I actually didn't like him as a character, but his character growth in the movie alone, just to see him shoot a giant laser out of his stomach plus the lasers out of everything else, shows me just that he actually belongs in the hero class. But I'm done with that. I'm a huge anime nerd, so if you are too, let me know. So this variant of the boom sickle that I'm using in this video actually is just kinetic. It has no actual element. And that's the reason I'm going to use infusion, so I can pit shock in there, or pit fire, or corrosive, whatever I want to use. But as you see, it helps a lot with this build. Yes, I know I could probably get more damage if I didn't use it, and it is explosive. I'm not sure if in Borderlands 3 explosive counts as an element the same way it did in Borderlands 2. And that's the reason that I did it. If you know for sure, please let me know in the comments, because I'm not sure. That's why I did it this way. But it worked out really well still, so. But everything can be improved at all times. You know, there's always room for improvement, and I'm open to suggestion. So the thing I've noticed about Nogs and about Gigamine, excuse me, is that you can't really shoot them directly very well, but if you shoot the ground next to them or around them, you tend to do more damage to them. So that's probably the better bet if you're going to use a sickle in the sickle period, to be honest with you. like I said, this is a mobbing build, but it works really well for bosses too. Granted, it is probably because of the gun and it's ridiculous damage, but it works. You see how many times I missed shooting at Gigamine here? It's because I should have been shooting at the ground, but I learned my lesson. It just took me a little bit. Okay guys, welcome back. Hope everybody's medicated and elated like me. Okay, so the boom sickle. Boom sickle is the most important thing in this build, of course, because it is a boom sickle build that deal extra damage, 125% to boss enemies, badasses, and so on. Is really good for those bosses, just so I can have enough damage to kill them, but there is no extra damage I'm using for those mobs, this is a mob build, so it's kind of impressive. Transformer, using one with shock damage, so I get extra shock damage out of it. I'm using a Quasar that has that extra incendiary damage. Oh, one thing I want to touch on, why I use a spiritual driver. The self-ignite chance. With the self-ignite chance and the elemental projector, I get an extra 90% damage, bonus elemental damage. That's why I use those, not because I play that play style. Going into my mythical assault tree, do harm, I have 5 points into that for the action skill damage. Not that I need it, but I need to go farther down the tree. Fast hands for that reload speed. I'm using transcend for that critical hit damage, and I'm using restless for that cooldown rate, so I can have a more cooldown. Ascendant, of course, I'm using that because I use stillness of mind. From rest because I want more fire rate so I can kill those boss enemies faster. Laid Bear and Wrath for that extra damage for grasp enemies, and this is a grasp build. I always use Revenant, you guys know that, and Avatar is the main thing that I wanted in this skill tree. That's why I got Do Harm to make it farther down. In Fist of the Elements, Anima, using that for the status effect damage. Using Infusion, like I told you earlier, to get as much damage as possible with the elements. Using Tempest to get more shock damage, and that's why I'm using that Transformer with that shock damage. I'm using Dread for extra gun damage for grasped enemies, and Deep Well so I can have bigger magazines. I don't think it applies. I think I should respec that point somewhere, but I'll worry about that some other time. In the Brawl tree, Root to Rise, I do have a couple points there just so I could have some more sustain. I always have personal space because I think it's a great skill, and you see how close I end up getting to him. 1 point in clarity from my class mod. 1 point in helping hands from my class mod. And see, I only have 3 points in arms deal. If I take that point out of Deep Well and put it here, it gives me even more damage, so it'd make the build even better. And I do have those 3 points into mindfulness from my class mod also. There are some things I could and should tweak. Maybe I will and show you guys a new video on it. But this is my build. I hope you guys enjoy it. Here are some people that I'm partnered with. I hope you guys enjoy them. This is the end of my video. Blue Crew, stay medicated and elated, and take it easy.